We continue on Offside Sports inside the Loft 100 studios in Southern California, presented by Turtlebox Audio. This portion of the program is presented by our newest partner here on Offside Sports, Bebemos Tequila, crafted from tradition, fueled by freedom, and made for those who chase the sun. Bebemos is a way of life. Find your bottle at WeDrinkTequila.com. Again, our thanks to Matt Bowyer for joining us in studio, talking about taking the bets from Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter, Ipe Mitsuhara, and who is in prison right now. Matt, we'll find out here in a couple of days where he is going and how long he is going to be away from his family and regular life for the foreseeable future. He talked about his book briefly, Recalibrate, and you can find it at Matt Bowyer, BOWYER.com, or also Amazon. What you got? I mean, an incredible. We could have done 5 shows with him, talking about everything, because there's also the Netflix series. Ben Affleck is going to pay him. Dave, what did you think when you first found out? And this is Shohei Ohtani, who's a Dodger, obviously, so you've got feelings about it. From when you first heard about Matt's story to where you are now?
You know, it completely changed. I did a 180 on Matt because, I mean, we've talked about on the show, Allison's a big Padre fan. I'm a big Dodger fan. The Shohei Ohtani story, do you believe it, not believe it, as far as what did he know? Was he involved?
Yeah.
And there were more things that he said. One was he thought Ohtani was in on it until he went to an Angels game, and he's sitting right behind home plate. And as he's sitting behind home plate and he's pitching, he goes, bets are coming in. And a lot of bets are coming in. He goes, I know this guy's talented. He can hit and he can pitch, but he can't place bets at the same time, knowing that it's not Shohei. And Shohei's not the one that's placing the bets. The other thing is, if you listen to Matt, meaning, like, I wanted to root against him because I knew he was a felon.
Yeah.
But then when he tells his story about losing the family home at 12 and then buying it back at age 18 with his mom, pretty incredible. So he's always been a winner. Like, he's going to bounce back once he gets out of prison.
Sure.
And he's going to have success in a different life. The deal is he got caught. I love the fact he's accountable to his 5 kids. A lot of people would run and say it's someone else's fault.
Yeah.
He didn't do that move. He even told his wife, hey, you might be better off basically leaving me now and finding a new husband. She said she's not doing that. But I was impressed with him for saying the word accountability was really important in what's going on. And so overall, I became a fan of him for owning up to it. When people love to point finger and place the blame somewhere else, I like what I heard from him. I found myself rooting for him. I know it sounds kind of crazy. And look, Mike, he's going to prison, but no one in prison thinks I'm going to get caught, right? Everybody in prison goes to prison not thinking they're going to get caught. And
exactly.
He got caught.
Allison, what'd you think?
I admired his transparency and also his calm demeanor. I thought he seemed very calm, very forthright. Didn't seem like anything was off limits. He didn't give us any parameters that we had to, you can ask this, but not this, which I admire that. And I think he's just going to feel a huge weight off of him. I hope that's what happens, because living that life must have been stressful.
Absolutely, and I think you asked the most important question. Did you think Shohei was involved? But I also, the family, the kids, and that's why I asked him. The range of the ages of the kids, and he said his 4-year-old, but the teenage girl, she's the one who's dealing with, because dad is gone. Whether dad is doing something legal or illegal, dad is out of the picture for, possibly 15 to 24 months. But cannot wait to have him back with us, because I really want to see, obviously, what life was like incarcerated, epiphanies, anything new came to him. And Dave, I'm with you too. I think that this is a guy who, it was illegal to begin with, but someone who's probably going to do good. And I think the most important thing is spread that message to other people. He's talked about going to talk to young professional athletes or college athletes and say, hey, and there's been a rash of people getting busted for gambling in Major League Baseball, players.
In Cleveland especially.
And so, if you can pass that message on to somebody and say, don't make the mistakes that I have made, then you really are you're walking the walk.
Yep.
You're not just talking the talk. All right, switching gears here shortly, and on a much lighter note, ESPN has gained part of people. When the news came out that ESPN had bought the NFL Red Zone, people were like, oh my God, so now ESPN owns NFL Ticket, that type of thing. But no, they get a piece now of of the red zone. And Allison, when we were talking and going over the show rundown, you brought up, is this ESPN and that relevancy topic? Because I don't know about you guys, but aside from college football and Monday Night Football, I don't watch ESPN. I really don't. I don't. And I don't, is this going to make me watch ESPN? No, because I don't subscribe to the red zone. I'm more of I'm locked in, I want to see the game. What do you think this is going to do for ESPN?
I do watch ESPN. I like especially Sports Center. I like the news angle of it. But I have always subscribed to Red Zone. I personally don't love it. I don't love seeing 10 seconds here and 5 seconds here, and it's too jumbled. I would rather sit and watch a game that is truly interesting to me.
Right.
But I think for ESPN, they needed some relevancy and some, I think there's clearly hurting financially in a lot of ways, which is why they've made such massive cuts. And now bringing in this asset from the NFL Network, it really boosts their profile and their assets.
So there are three kinds of people that watch the NFL, right? There are the people that are the fans of their favorite team, right? Then there are the gamblers, and then there are fantasy football players, right?
Yeah.
The red zone covers two of those three,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm still one of those guys, Mike, and I find myself, I think, in the minority where I'm not a huge red zone fan, where I like to find my team, watch the complete game, like to break it down, and I don't even like to be surrounded by people that are rooting against my team in that room. Like I'm that into my team for every single play, and the red zone doesn't give me that for my team. Now, fantasy football, I play. But at the same time, I'm going to get my fantasy football score at the end of the day, whether I watch Red Zone or not. I don't need to sit there and panic for 6 straight hours. That's not what I do. And I'm not a gambler. So I'm out of that realm on that. So Red Zone, for a lot of people, there are two different types of people. Those who watch the game and Red Zone people. And they will argue back and forth on why one or the other is the best way to watch. But the Red Zone is extremely popular. I'm not downgrading what it is. For ESPN, I understand exactly why they purchased.
I have never liked the red zone, and it's the schizophrenic nature of it. And Allison, as you just alluded to, the fact that you're jumping all over the NFL to different games and stuff. And I want to lock in. I buy I buy Sunday ticket just so I can watch my Raiders wherever they are playing. And I realize it's a money move for ESPN. And ESPN's ratings are tanking on anything that's non-NFL, non-college football. They had an incident the other day where Stephen A. Smith, and I forget who the female co-host was, but they had a guy on the set who was wearing clearly what is a Barry Sanders 20, and it says Sanders here, in Honolulu blue. And his female co-host, and it doesn't matter if it's female or male, the co-host said, she goes, "Oh, and I see that you're wearing something that's, homage to Shedeur Sanders."
Oh, my goodness.
And it was just like, what? Wait, what? Yeah. You just said that. So ESPN, if ESPN has problems like that on some of their shows, it's very clear why they're making moves.
Could have been worse. Could have been Colonel Sanders. At least it was the same sport. I mean, do some homework. That's ridiculous.
It is. I mean, I saw that, and I was writing down notes for the show, and I'm all, I know why they have why they went out and got the Red Zone channel, because the ratings are not bringing the money that they used to have in.
Well, and they have to pay Stephen A.
Yeah, and they've got to pay a guy like Stephen
massive.
A. No, it's the thing though that the networks, I think Fox and CBS and NBC do such a great job of, Dave, and Allison, is, you don't need Red Zone. If you're just trying to find out what your fantasy player is doing, everybody scrolls on the scoring ticker. Allison Ratzlaff, 4 catches, 85 yards in the first half.
You also have your phone. You can it's so easy to find information about anything and anybody so instantly.
And I tell you, I love the NFL. I know all three of us love the NFL.
Of course.
My setup on a typical Sunday is I'm there for the opening kickoff. I have 3 TVs. I have a giant computer monitor with my fantasy football, and I'm watching as many games and trying to get information as I can. And then I lock in, like Mike does with the Raiders. I'll lock in on one game, but I'll have other games going because I literally want to say I watched every single game that weekend, and I'm hooked on it. I mean, thank goodness I'm with someone that will let me do that. Otherwise it's kind of crazy. I'm over the top. I never miss a game.
Well, you're part of the very popular Dave and Jeff podcast, but you also do a LA Charger centric podcast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right there, that is one game that you've got to see from literally pregame warm up until the end. Not to mention all the other stuff you do on the weekends for different NFL teams and cities.
Do you watch preseason?
I'm not a big preseason fan at all. Not a preseason fan. I think it's a
Wow, those games are long.
They are.
They're so, and it's preseason is a necessary evil because, and a lot of those rosters are already set.
Exactly.
As we know, it's just like, okay, where can we shore up a player here or there? All right, what are people chirping about these days? And is there any change in the standings for our bet of the show? We'll have your gots and your bots as Offside Sports continues in a moment.